ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CWRL's World War Wall, coming to you from the Wall Stadium Raceway, one of the fastest one-third mile tracks you'll ever see. Originally, I thought it was 1/4 mile, but I was confusing it with Slinger Speedway, so I apologize for all of that from the prior broadcast. Anywho, my name is Geek Guru 1986, and I'm glad you're here for us for this amazing CWRL special event. And let's go over the point standings before we get into traffic jam qualifying here, as the Intimidators right now are still holding the points lead with 580 points. Chasing the Elliots have jumped into second place with 450 points. The King's Court dropped to third place with 357 points. And rounding out the top four, still the Candymen with 188 points. And that's the great thing, is you never know what's going to happen in CWRL. The point standings can pretty much change at any time. So those top four are automatically qualifying for the main event here, and the bottom 10 will be attempting traffic jam qualifying. Now, Wall Stadium is a bit of a special speedway here, as the limit is 20 cars, including myself. So unfortunately, we cannot fit all 30 cars onto the speedway at this time. However, we are able to fit 10 of those cars, so they all still have equal chance of making it. So in traffic jam qualifying here, it's going to be a 30-lap heat race, and the top four finishers, in this case, will go on to the main event. Just want to make sure that we keep the odds for every team that needs to qualify fair. Let's check everything over. Looks like all 10 teams are represented. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wall Stadium Speedway. A very fast, very high-banked short track. Should make for some very interesting CWRL action. Now, let's randomize the qualifying order. Let's see where they start up. And on the pole, you got Hello Newman with the Bushwhackers on outside pole, Junior Nation in third, and rounding out the top four there will be the Miller Lighters. Then you got Legion of Supermen in fifth, the Silver Foxes in sixth, the Rainbow Warriors in seventh, the Smokehouse in eighth, Boogity Boogity Racing in ninth, and Number One Racing rounding out in 10th there, because everyone gets a top 10 finish when there are only 10 starters. That being said, let's get ready to rumble here. Thank you all for sticking with us here and for joining us here at CWRL's World War wall. You can see those very, very high banks as the pace car drops off into the center of the track. And ladies and gentlemen, we are underway here for CWRL's World War Wall and Traffic Jam qualifying. You got Hello Newman here taking the lead early. Junior Nation in second on that high line. In third place, the Legion of Supermen looking to get some ground. Then in fourth place, you got the Rainbow Warriors trying to make their presence known. Those are the first four spots, and those will be the four teams advancing if they can hold their position. We are working on lap 3, about to work on lap 4 right now. As these laps go by in a matter of seconds, Hello Newman pulling away a little bit from now the Rainbow Warriors, who have just taken second spot from the Legion of Supermen. Whether or not the Legion of Supermen can hold that position is a whole nother story, as Boogity Boogity Racing is getting into the picture here. Lots of passing here going on at the Wall Stadium. Hello Newman still leading the way here as we're working on lap 7. You got Boogity Boogity Racing trying to hold on to second place there. But that high line can still carry some momentum. And it looks like the Rainbow Warriors love running that high line. But the Bushwhackers are starting to come into the picture. They've taken the third spot and moved into the top 4. So currently it's Hello Newman, Boogity Boogity Racing. You got the Bushwhackers and the Rainbow Warriors rounding up the top 4 right now. But whether or not the Rainbow Warriors are going to be able to hold on to that spot is a whole other story. You can see number 1 Racing here right on his back bumper, trying to force his way into this bubble of the top 4. These top 4 teams will be seeded against the top 4 in points based on their finishing order. So if you finish first, then you're going to be seeded against the Intimidators, who are currently first in points, and so on all the way down to 4th. Meanwhile, Rainbow Warriors still holding on to the 4th position, that final transfer spot here into the main event. It's number 1 Racing, still on his back bumper, trying to get their way into the show. The difference here could be between 10 points and a couple hundred points on the day. Any team that doesn't qualify for the main event just goes home with 10 points towards the championship. Don't get me wrong, though. Those 10 points are still very valuable. They could mean the difference between winning and losing a title. Meanwhile, Hello Newman still dominating this heat race as we're working on lap 18 of 30 right now. The Rainbow Warriors, though, is where we want to focus at. This is the battle for the transfer spot, as the Bushwhackers and Boogity Boogity Racing are in 3rd and 2nd, respectively. So they're comfortably in for the time being. But this 4th place position, this is where the battle's really going to be, as number 1 Racing is still trying to break into the top 4, transfer into the main event, into the big show here at World War Wall. The Rainbow Warriors holding them off nicely, though, keeping good pace, staying out of trouble, keeping the calamity to a minimum, and this has been a very clean event so far compared to Fight Night at the Freedom Factory, but we like a little chaos at the Freedom Factory, so we like it when they're slamming into the wall, making hard contact with each other, or taking each other out when there's no room to race. But this track is so highly banked that they're just able to carry such good speed in through the turns and have plenty of room to come up without hitting the wall. So we're working on 5 laps to go here. Hello Newman still showing the way. That number 1 racing car still in a distant 5th right now. You got Boogity Boogity Racing trying to drive down the leader, but comfortable at the same time, knowing that with a 2nd place finish, they will transfer to the main event. We're working on lap 28 right now. Hello Newman about to work their way into another main event. They had a great performance at Fight Night, but they were not able to close out the deal. But they did wind up jumping to 5th in points. So they are just outside that 4th place bubble there that would ensure them an automatic seed for the main event tournaments and would put whoever was in 4th place, the Candyman, back into 5th and make them have to qualify. But anywho, we have just concluded traffic jam qualifying, and we have Hello Newman, Boogity Boogity Racing, the Bushwhackers, and the Rainbow Warriors transferring today to the main event. Unfortunately, Junior Nation did not fare so lucky as they finished 10th place, 7 seconds behind the leader. Now stay with us as we have a brief pause to set up the next segment of our program. Thank you for staying with us here at CWRL. Congratulations to Hello Newman, Boogity Boogity Racing, the Bushwhackers, and the Rainbow Warriors once again for making the main event. They will be paired up against the Intimidators, chasing the Elliots, the King's Court, and the Candymen, respectively. Stay tuned for the first matchup, where we will have the Intimidators going up once again against Hello Newman.